Praised be Jesus and Mary. I am 𝘍𝙘𝙘𝙧𝙪𝙀, 20, from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Philippines, and I can describe myself as God-fearing, humble, and hardworking. Mabuhay! Praised be Jesus and Mary. I am 𝘍𝙘𝙘𝙧𝙪𝙀 from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Davao City, Philippines. Years ago and until this day, youth empowerment is at the heart of my advocacy. According to the Morca Foundation in 2019, youth empowerment enables young people to take an active role in communities. It gives them a sense of responsibility and enhances their leadership skills so they can feel and see the real problems that people in their communities are having. They no longer wait for the high authorities to come and solve the problem. Instead, they can take some practical steps to address it on their own. While some young people already have the confidence to explore their potential and put their skills into action, others may need some more push. That is why Spiller in 2021 suggests there should be encouragement and opportunities to enable a child break out of their shell and try new things. And 2 years ago, I was able to do so. On February 1 to 2, 2020, in collaboration with the youth organization in my city and former school, I was able to spearhead a leadership training program titled We Serve to Lead for potential and incumbent student leaders. And now, as a student leader since senior high school and having been exposed to various extracurricular activities, I will continue to champion it in this competition in pursuit of aiming for the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4, quality education. In essence, I believe that quality education must not delimit students within 4 corners of the classroom, but rather this must inspire and transform them to go beyond and cultivate their abilities. Like me, as what I am doing right now in this pageant and in my academic club and college as an officer, I hope that through me they will be inspired to act, to never be afraid to step out of their comfort zones, to interact with people not only in the academe, but towards creating sustainable changes in their respective communities. From one's perspective, this may be grandiose undertakings. We might feel that we are not brilliant enough. We might think that we are too weak, unskilled, or foolish, and that these things are too overwhelming for us. But amid all of these, we must remember that we are blessed with unique talents and gifts, making us capable of immersing ourselves in the realities of this imperfect world and doing something about it. I admit I am not perfect. I have my own weaknesses, and when I was a child, I was very shy and introverted. And right now, there are times that I still do. But we don't have to start big. We can all take simple but meaningful initiatives. Attending seminars about relevant issues, promoting one's culture and learning about other people's cultures, donating to charities, planting trees, running for a certain position in your college or university, joining organizations or competitions like this one, or even just simply lending your classmates a helping hand when they do not seem to understand a particular subject. We are all capable of achieving great things. We only must start somewhere, and little by little, taking one step at a time, we will all get there. And this is how I believe we students will be able to develop towards our best potential. This is how we will be able to engage ourselves with the world and gain lessons that can't be acquired within the classroom setting. And as future leaders of this world, this is how we will be able to achieve progress on issues whichever each of us is passionate on working about. This is the quality education that we must all aspire to, wherein learning is lived, and this is used as a means for the betterment of our society. Thank you.
Mabuhay! This is Queen Ayan Dato, a third-year student of Davao Oriental State University, taking Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. Proud, honored, and dignified to represent from the beautiful island of the Philippines. I am a modern-day Filipina, a woman of style and substance.
Let me start quoting this line by one of the HIV advocates who once said that at the end of the day, it's not the virus that kills the people, but it's the hatred and discrimination. At this age, I came across many stories which forced me to have this advocacy. HIV is not a death sentence. This advocacy is for my loved one who is very close to my heart, for the victim of this phenomenon, and for the people in the society. This illness is a pandemic, yet oftentimes neglected in bursts. Victims are discriminated. The victims hide themselves without the courage, without the voice, without the power to stand and to show the society that they are also hurting. For the society itself doesn't build a safe place for them. The stigma that rules everyone. These victims had to go through a lot, not just fighting for the virus, but having shame to be hated and discriminated. In this pageant of ASEAN, the Ambassador and Ambassadress of Goodwill, we are given the privilege to fight with the cause, to be the voice of the unheard youth, to be the agent in leading this generation in solving this social dilemma. And here I am, an ambassadress having a hope to address this problem, to give courage to the people and bring change to the society's perception with this inevitable circumstance. In fact, in the year 2020, there were approximately 37.7 million people across the globe with HIV. Children, youth, and adults take part of this number, yet they are not given the enough attention and help they need, not because of their finances nor status, but because of their fear to be judged. With this advocacy, we are giving these victims an assurance that they are safe, loved, and accepted. This gives them a wall that protects them from moral judgments. And also, this highlights the importance of changing our perception with this medical condition, raising the thought that we are all the same, regardless of our gender, race, and status, and that no one deserves to be discriminated. Most of all, we give everyone the peace of mind, the comfort, and an awareness, for this is our social responsibility. I do believe this problem can only be listened if we duly have the strength to open up, to listen and respect others despite the conditions, to achieve an AIDS-free generation. This gives hope to people that we can still do something. Let's be educated and get tested to put an end of this occurrence. Let's stop the stigma. This is something we should fathom, and definitely something we shouldn't be afraid of.
𝘍𝙬𝙘𝙀𝙘𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀𝙀 Ayan Canadon S. Plazas, 19, a first-year college student taking up nursing at the Bear of Great Possibilities, Bukidnon State University, Malaybalay City, Bukidnon, Philippines. I pronounce myself as sophisticated, passionate, and self-reliant. Salamat tungkay.
We dare to dream, we care to share, together for ASEAN. We dare to dream, we care to share, for it's the way of ASEAN.
We dare to dream, we care to share, a line from the ASEAN hymn I can truly relate my advocacy to. As we ended the year 2019 and began the year 2020, we have experienced a sudden shift in our perspectives and our way of life that led us to what we now call the new normal. The new normal that we continue to navigate with much caution and prudence, knowing that our decisions have a rippling effect on human life and our collective future. How can we truly achieve the dream to overcome this present crisis? As a soon-to-be healthcare professional, I am a staunch advocate of proper medical and humanitarian care. Caring can also be strongly made manifest through sharing. Caring is just not upholding significant practices in the medical field. Caring is also excellent human relations. Our sincere attention to other people's pains and fears, our manner of communicating our thoughts and ideas that would foster trust and interdependence. Having to share with my fellow Filipinos, a country with over 7,107 islands and about 120 and 187 languages, I have come to realize how we must come together and share the dream. In this time of the pandemic and as a citizen of the Philippines, I strongly stand on the importance of utilizing culture-sensitive language in informing and sharing to the Filipino people the whats, whys, whens, and hows in these trying times. Quoting Angela Carter's statement, "Language is power, life, and the instrument of culture, the instrument of domination and liberation." I care to share the right information in the language one can understand through various information platforms. I believe that when we begin sharing the same understanding, we can come together and act as one. Bisan lain-lain ang atong mga pinulungan, paniguruhan nato ang pagsinabtanay alang sa maayong mga plano ug maayong padulngan.
Hi everybody, my name is 𝘍𝙬𝙘𝙘𝙚𝙪𝙖𝙩𝙪𝙘, studying Southeast Asian Studies at University Malaya. Passionate, determined, and also talkative. I choose the environmental issue study CARES, established to enhance the environmental issue. CARES organization is established to fulfill two indicators, which is the first one, to enhance the quality of the living, and second is to establish and to bring more positive wise to change the society. Even the position of the director that was leading the best study CARES to enhance the community itself towards sustaining the environmental issues. Or achievements that I've done in the best study CARES is by doing campaigns to sustain the environmental itself. I hope the others will follow my footsteps and continue to enhance these environmental issues. Our contribution towards the environmental should be done by action and not only by saying it.
Mabuhay! Praise be Jesus and Mary. I am Miguel Molina, 21, from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Davao City, Philippines, and I can describe myself in 3 words. First, innovative. Second, creative. And lastly, resilient. Mabuhay! Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever. Good day, I'm Miguel A. Molina from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Davao City, Philippines. How many of us have been irresponsibly taking antibiotic drugs for simple colds or coughs? To my thinking, all of us cannot dismiss this fact. Fair enough to say that I, as like other Filipinos, whose old practice was that whenever we experience simple flu, we rely on the supposed universal power of the antimicrobial drugs. If I was conscious at that time, maybe I would never do such. Now, as a third-year pharmacy student, thank God I was lucky to become aware of the damage it would hold if we responsibly use antibacterial drugs. Antibiotics are one of the best tools that modern medicine has, saving millions of lives throughout the history. Unfortunately, the rise of the antibiotic resistance bacteria is diminishing their efficacy and endangering the feasibility of most modern medical procedures. We use them to cure infectious diseases and to safely facilitate everything from surgery to chemotherapy to organ transplants. But we've stopped discovering new ones and we are at risk of losing them forever. How did we get into this situation? Some bacteria have become resistant to all available antibiotics that we have in the market today. Because in the early days, antibiotics were overly prescribed that now the penicillin that we know has little to no effect to any bacteria that was then became effective for. That is why we are in danger of soon losing our last weapon in fighting these diseases. Given the podium to speak, I was entranced to voice this subject matter. Not only to inform, but to educate. Not to create fear, but to build consciousness. And greatly, to generate rightful solutions that radiate towards authority to maximize this conversation. This topic also transfers to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, targeting the good health and well-being. That also concerns the strengthening the prevention and treatment of substance abuse. Sadly to say, it causes 700,000 deaths a year and is predicted to vanish life more than 10 million people. We can drop this if we use the right doses and we only use as little as possible, only when needed. On a brighter note, I have seen forward steps in this matter, one of which was held last April of last year in Pampanga by a group of medical students alongside with the Sangguniang Kabataan Federation, who conducted an information drive maximizing the use of information, education, and communication materials. They have implemented barangay-wide awareness campaigns in regards to the proper usage of antimicrobial drugs and the effects of its misuse. And if given a chance, I am willing to adapt this kind of method or even outrun more. With new tools to solve this crisis, we can amplify this by giving flyers to every household since we are only limited to doing such because of the pandemic, but still an effective way. Another is to launch campaigns through social media in a more discerning and creative way that surely attract audiences, a powerful tool nowadays to disseminate rightful information. Antimicrobial resistance in the Philippines is a national priority. We are enjoining everyone to take part in battling one of the most pressing concerns in the health of our country today. With this, we hope that everyone who is participating in this endeavor may continuously strive to uphold our goals, vision, and mission to combat AMR in the Philippines. If we see more efforts like this, it will ripple towards a greater purpose, which is to radiate awareness and consciousness to every corner of our community and make it our future history.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is 𝘍𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗. I am currently a second year student of Bachelor in Education, teaching English as a second language tester. And I am a proud Malaysian. To end my video, 3 words to describe me are ambitious, adventurous and firm. That's all from me, thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is 𝘍𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 and I am from Malaysia. So in this advocacy video, I will be discussing an issue that exists in my community and how I plan to advocate for these people who are facing the issue. So based on my reading and finding from an academic research conducted by Mr. Muhammad Faizul and his team, it is reported by Malaysia's Ministry of Health that 1 in 3 of the country's adults are at risk in facing mental health issues. In the research, it is reported that mental health illness is expected to be second most highest form of health problem after heart disease. So what is mental health illness? So basically, mental health illness can be defined as mental health disorders that can affect your mood, behavior, and thinking, including depression, anxiety, and stress. After the COVID-19 pandemic has hit the world, including my country, it is undeniably that mental health issues have become one of the most major problems in my community. Due to the pandemic, most people are losing their jobs, and there are educators and students who had to switch and adapt with the online education. So without any doubt, it is true that mental health issues has relatively increased in my community. So the initiative that I have came up with is that I plan to set up a mental health helpline that are run by young adults, specifically consists of university students, where we can volunteer to provide emotional support service to people who are suffering with mental health illness. And of course, I plan to include and involve the experts of this area to handle more serious cases that require more than just emotional support, such as people who are requiring medical treatment and consultation from the psychiatrist. So despite having a number of helplines in my country, I believe that there is none that is run by university students and have the focus towards young adults. So I came up with the initiative to set up a helpline that is aimed to help all groups of people who are suffering with mental illness, but our focus is young adults, as we believe that we are able to relate more with the issues that these young adults are facing. I think that's all from me for the advocacy video. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Joko Dagala, a second-year student taking a Bachelor of Secondary Education, majoring mathematics in St. Rita's College of Balingasag, Philippines. Resilient, obedient, and responsible.
Inclusive education is addressing and responding to the diverse needs of children, youth, and adults. It is when students with or without disabilities take classes together. I advocate inclusive education because I want no one to feel excluded, deprived, and outcasted because of their uniqueness. We are all the same. We all deserve equal chances in life. So let us not withhold the things we can do and give. Let us now see situations that needs attention, and let us start now by taking action.
Aldaw tayo nyo alan, yan si Vladimir Vincent 𝘿𝙗𝙗𝙗, 19, a first-year college student taking up nursing at Bukidnon State University. It stands tall like lofty pine trees in the heart of Malaybalay City, Bukidnon, Philippines. In this new normal, I remain ambitious, versatile, and optimistic. Daghang salamat. Breathe in positivity, exhale negativity. Ironic how the word positive in this time of pandemic has been taken negatively. It has become greatly associated with a virus disease that even in the thought of staying positive has become a challenge. The realities of today reveal that as we fight the rising cases of COVID-19, we also face the rise of mental health crisis. We guard our physical self against the threats of the pandemic by using face mask and face shield, practicing proper hand sanitation, and by practicing physical distancing. Yet the challenge lies on how we guard our mental health. The use of face mask and face shield may cover our smiles, but it cannot conceal sadness in our eyes. Practicing proper hand sanitation and physical distancing may distance us from the physical threats of the virus, but not the woes and maladies within. As an optimistic individual, I aspire to spread positivity in what I do despite the negativities that surround me. As a student taking a course on becoming a healthcare professional, I firmly believe in the importance of positive mental health care. I advocate mental health check, which is as important as temperature check or any physical assessment. Check on yourself and check on others. In this way, we could take on a more holistic direction of wellness, one that takes into account both physical and mental health care of patients. Beloved, I wish above all things that we may prosper and be healthy. Mapya na aldaw kanta.
Mabuhay! I am Carlo Nino M. Perez, a fourth-year student of Davao Oriental State University, taking up Bachelor of Physical Education, proud, honored, and dignified to represent the second largest archipelago in the world, the Philippines. A man of power, grace, and commitment. Tata's top secret. Tata is a term that pertains to the students enrolled at our university. And this gives me the motivation to pursue this advocacy since it concerns my fellow students. This is what I can share to my community and to all ASEAN countries. As a physical educator, crafting this advocacy is a reflection of my desire and vision, aiming every Tata to be physically and mentally healthy. Indulging to healthy eating habits and daily exercises affects students' thinking skills and behavior. With healthy eating habits every day, it can increase energy levels. In the same way, simple exercises routines enhances proper posture and maximize physical performance. This can be materialized through encouraging physical educators to include meal plans in their lessons and to hold any physical fitness programs to maintain a healthy habits while igniting the spirit of sportsmanship and camaraderie. Mental health affects a person in all ways, not to mention the rising stress levels caused by our personal or academic problems, which affects our mental state. With this, we come up with a program and pass a resolution concerning a week's students' break for academic tasks and activities for students. Holding this kind of program will allow students to experience a break and lessen the burden leading to possible anxiety and depression. As an ambassador, I will use this advocacy to all ASEAN countries promoting Tata Top Secret, for I believe being healthy should always be everyone's top priority, most especially in this time of crisis. I will be an avenue to pursue what we have always been dreaming, a healthy Tata, a healthy Philippines, a healthy ASEAN.
Sofia binti Abdul Manan, and I am from the Department of Southeast Asian Studies, University of Malaya. My beloved country is Malaysia. I am very dedicated, compassionate, and fun-loving, fighting for the rights of minorities. The violations that happen towards minorities in Myanmar, the government is failing to do the job. in protecting the rights of minorities in Myanmar. The violence inflicted upon the minorities communities, Rohingya and the Karen, running away from the country, making them stateless, remaining in the country that they do not belong to, has made it difficult for them to access basic necessities as a people who are privileged and simply as a decent human being. It is our responsibility to ensure that these stateless individuals are welcome and well taken care of.